here, KW PASM cancellation kit resistor, and I found a great little shelf back here on top of the right wheel well. So that's going to be its home, and I have the wire here tucked behind the carpet soundproofing. And in its little carrier here, everything connected with the little red packing or O-ring removed to be able to make that connection. So that's where it's gonna sit. And again, if it comes loose in there, it's not gonna bounce around much at any place at all once we get the soundproofing, foam and deadening all put back in there. Now I will say that if you see the fins, right, that's for cooling. So I'm not going to pack all the soundproofing and foam back in there because I do not want it to suffocate, if you will, take away the cooling properties of that little resistor. I want that guy to breathe as much as possible. For the fronts, it's not an issue at all. Now, with all things not being equal, let's look at the left side and get our light source over here. So, there's a bracket inside here that I have no idea what that is for. If any of you want to put in the comments what they have seen mounted or what should be mounted there. I've never had anything mounted on top of that left wheel well, OWs, at all, ever. So if I have to move it, I will. I was gonna bend this little tab up right here. Sorry for the lighting, y'all. And put it up in this little area. But heck, I'm not using it. And so that's gonna be its home. And again, behind the carpet, just routed up here and made its little connection right there. So it's kind of a hit or miss what you'll have on your car. I don't know if that's standard for all 718s or not, to be honest with you. I have no idea what that is. So that's the KW PASM cancellation kit installation. And again, I went with the KW because I got all four corners for $500. So I think that was the best smoking deal. And again, couldn't figure out, asking around if anyone could code that out anyway. So, but that's what we're going with. KW PASM cancellation kit. So here we go. I have the camera set up, hopefully for a really good aspect angle. This is the very first pair of coilovers I've ever installed and or driven on any vehicle I've ever owned. So I'm gonna lower it down and you guys got a front row seat. Let's see how low it goes. I think it's gonna be pretty stinking low. Let's try it out. All right, well, I did it. I set it up to the manufacturer. Oh yeah, that's low. That's much lower in the front. That's got a rake to it. Oh, 100%. So, and that's the 18s. The 20s will be up underneath that fender. Oh my goodness. Time to take some measurements and do some comparisons. But yeah, that's her right there. Wow. Yeah. That is much lower, y'all. Oh my. That's 18s. This is gonna be GT4 style. I can't wait. The only thing that's gonna get me, or let them get away from me, is my throttle delay. Yeah, that's low, y'all. That's set up exactly to Ohlins specifications as far as ride height. For those of you who are doing this, that's a great starting point. From looking at this, I would highly recommend not going any lower than the Ohlins manual. I set it up to the gnat's ass on the Ohlins manual, and these are 18-inch wheels. This is low. This is real low. Holy crap. Let's take some measurements. So I was correct about the rake. So my previous measurements before were at 26 5/8. We're right at 26, if not just an RCH below 26. And in the back, we're only about a 1/4 inch lower. we're at 26 and a half in the back, and my previous measurements were 26 and 3/4. So the rake is real. Let's coin a phrase. The rake is real with the Ohlins, which will help, and especially with the little bit of front arrow here helping me out. I think that nose is gonna stay planted. Again, we're going to do some driving videos, and especially a track day, and see if that comes to fruition or reality, and that's after a 4-wheel alignment. So hopefully we'll see you very soon with some driving videos. All right, so good luck everyone. If you want to get you some Ohlins, like I said, the fronts are really easy, the back are not easy at all, but I will say, let me give you the order of merit that I found that worked out for me. So when taking apart, doing any springs or anything, sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera here. So when messing with the rear on the Cayman, I found it best to go ahead and do the brake connections first, everything to do with the brakes. Take your electrical connectors off, take the brake caliper off, pull that to the side. Do the drive shaft, and then do your control alignment linkages, right? Do those last, and then pull the assembly off as a whole. And reverse order, put the hub back on, put your linkages in, and just set the bolts. Do not tighten anything. Just set the bolts, and then do your drive shaft, and then tighten as you work back out from the drive shaft. Tighten your drive shaft first, and then tighten your, well, put the nuts on and snug. Important safety tip, when tightening, that's why you don't want to tighten at that point. If you can, jack up the wheel to load that suspension, and then tighten your bolts, your suspension bolts. Remember, it has to be under load to tighten it, like the car is sitting. Essentially, imagine if you even want to put a piece of tape to know where the hub is, when you need to jack it up, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. It's actually a great idea. So then that's when you tighten up your suspension linkages, and then put reverse order with the brakes last. So with that, get some videos, hopefully of driving, and get some impressions. Ciao.